Alright, hello YouTube, this is Michael, and I'm going to show you guys how to make the best economy, or at least so far what I've got from Tropico 5. So I'm opening up this game that I did in custom games. So far I basically just made a giant map, and just made it completely flat. So the main points you want to do to make the best economy is basically try to be self-sufficient throughout all the parts of the economy. So let me explain that right here. So what I did to make money in this one is to make nothing but clothing. So here's the map basically. I'm just gonna scroll over real quick. So working on the housing, but essentially what you're gonna do is try to go all parts of production. So from corn to get to the factory farms for the llamas, and then a bunch of cotton farms. Now the reason why I don't use too many hydroponic farms is because I have a bunch of uneducated workers I have to fill up these jobs with. So if I'd have all I'd have a bunch of unemployed people. So then the next part is textile mills, which are full of these. And in the next part you go to fashion companies, which obviously produces the clothes from all this part. So basically whenever I'm importing, I'm basically just importing food for people to eat, and then for my different power plants and nuclear reactors. So the way you make money in this game is if you go to the balance, basically all of the money is coming straight from the expenses, is not that much from import, but just straight from like apartments and other buildings. Now when it says the cost for like plantations and different farms, it doesn't account for the revenue you get for that. So for the most part your expenses equals out. So let's see, construction, that's just different things like that. So the balance right now is 3 million. I'm probably going to be able to bring it up even more after I make some more fashion companies. I just have to get the right ratio of Teamster companies. But the best way to get apartments done is building trees next to it, because as you can see the effectiveness is 25 from beauty. So originally I thought you had to build it further away from like everything else, but I realized you just have to put the overlay on. If you just put a shit ton of trees, boom, beauty right there, and a bunch of people like will fill into the houses. I still need to finish my apartment block, but as you can see, most videos of people putting really large cities, they're always having like a negative in their balance. But as you can see, like I'm losing money, but then as the next trade ship comes in, yeah, it'll start going right back up. So I'm always in a positive move because I have like 6 different docks, or 7 actually, and they're all getting around like 50k every like couple of months. But also the really important thing is also tourism, because once you make a certain amount of farms, I'm having that problem right now where you have too much output, and like no matter how many Teamster offices you make, because there's just so much room, you're gonna have too many people now without jobs, and like you're just gonna be wasting too much space because not every place has like the perfect conditions for corn or cotton. So that's why if you make a bunch of different tourism things, it fills up jobs really quick. And a really good way to fill up it before we can get tourism in the game, if you make a shit ton of cabarets, like look at, I made like 8 of these in a row. They're all full because I guess Tropicans are freaking horny or something like that. But you can see all of these are just full of illiterate people. So that's a really good way to fill that up. And then once you get enough money to like support an entire industry of just tourism, you can see like I'm losing some money on this one because I have 0 people, but I have an edict such as Mardi Gras and different things to improve, like host the Olympics, tourism campaign, just to like increase the amount of tourists. I just made these, so I have some airports bringing them in. And like another important thing is try to make money any way you can, such as like through this, you can see it provides additional profits from tickets, like just a small amount of money, 1k right there. That's almost enough to pay for all the wages right there. And I might have a I'm fine. Oh, I just don't have this in electricity range. Just made that one too. But yeah, as you can see, I have 3.6 revenue. In the beginning I had like 3.2 million. So like the way it works is just people going through college and high school and filling up all of these different, like I still have plenty of space in all these different factories. So what you also really want to do is let me get research real quick. You want to put managers increase the like the different, let's see if I have any ones in this one. I don't have one in this one. So administrator, maximize the number of customers served. So over here, you can use some of these office buildings, and these are really good if you have a bunch of apartment blocks. Offices, if you just put them right there, it's good if you have extra. I made these personally because I had a bunch of extra high school workers. So let me put that right there. Administrator, hire. A workers administrator, hire. So that increases the customer served by 10%. So if I have 504 people, if you increase that by 10%, that's like 50 right there. That's pretty good. And then I'll obviously increase the profits, which is always really nice to just have a building to, that's like the main thing is, I had one issue on this map where I had this one dry dock that had like $2 million expected revenue, but the ships can only take out like 30-40K each. So I basically ran out of money because I had no internal income, which comes from tourism, different things like that. So let's see revenue right here. I finally able to bring up the tourism to $500,000. Domestic $10 million. Yeah, that's like entertainment buildings. That's what's going to keep your economy afloat. If you don't have any tour, like that's why it also helps because the happiness is also brought up. Like 63, that's only with like this many buildings. I can make a shit ton more. And obviously hang gliders, I don't know why people love them so much, but like it's literally free money right there. And then I made a shit ton of stadiums because I did the edict. So once you get to the modern age, you want to like not get any edicts until you get e-government. This decreases all edicts by 25%. That's like, some of these cost like $10,000 and that brings it down to $7,500. So that's really like a bunch of money. So still working on I just made this tourism thing because I just finished all this crap. But yeah, basically my next goal was just make sure there's enough supermarkets, hospitals. I made sure there's enough churches for everyone, for like the total population, but I think the cap's at 6,000 right now. I'm not sure. Let me go check. Says somewhere. But yeah. So yeah, the main points of this video is basically just try to cover all points of production from cotton. Like, so let's say if you're gonna make automobiles, like if you see a shit ton of iron and bauxite mines, like right here, just put a bunch of mines, and then next thing you know is like you need the steel thing, so you make this what's it called, industrial goods. You have a steel mill, and then you have the vehicle factory. So with all of those parts, like you basically don't have to worry too much about the import costs, and that can usually cost a lot. And what helps a lot is if you make a customs house and you upgrade it where you decrease the price of imports, because what really is good is you buy things cheaper. So whatever excess you have, if I have a shit ton of uranium excess, I can sell it at the default price of 6,000. So I'm actually making money from importing. So that's like a really helpful tip too. So yeah, this is just the first part of my mega city, because I've seen plenty of videos of mega cities where it looks really pretty, but they're just constantly putting that cheat code, you know, to get more money or have unlimited money, because they're just making like millions of dollars in deficits. I'm already up to $4 billion. I began the video with like 3.2 million in the balance. So within like, I don't know, like 10 minutes of this video, I'm already, you know, improving, just like adding more. That's what a really good edict too is. Where is it? It's the one I can find people really like, find different managers, somewhere like that. But like, just fill up like the most high revenuing, like, so like textile mills and like the final buildings like fashion companies, you want to put managers throughout the whole one. So agitator increases the regime. You don't really need that right now. So this one's really good actually. Altruistic, if you put it in the lower income buildings, people will get happier, because I had to cut I used to have everything on the highest budget, but I was getting into a deficit. So I had to decrease everyone's wages to make sure the balance of the economy is good. Because what happens is if you get into a negative balance and like you can't export all the goods you need, the problem is you basically can't build anything, and like you can't reverse it, because the only way you can reverse it is if you lower all the apartment costs and everyone's wages. But that decreases the productivity, because the more you decrease the wage, you can see it decreases the job quality. And with lower job quality, basically produce less. So like whatever you had before in your balance, oh, see, already 4.3 million. it's gonna decrease even more. So yeah, like that's the main problem I had before. Let me save this map real quick. Yeah, this one. I'll show you the problem I had last time when it comes to like dock placement. You want to keep them split up because where is it? I must have saved over because I was so salty. But basically what happened was I had 5 docks, and this one dock, it still has a shit ton. It had $3 million just sitting in there. And I kept losing money because, you know, it costs money to run the city and everything like that. And I just couldn't do anything. Like, I was like pulling my hair out because like I thought this was like the most efficient way to make the city, but I was still losing a shit ton of money. So what you have to do is just basically spread out the docks. So because like it's really hard once you have this many Teamster offices, you have a shit ton of cars. So you also want to do the edict, I think it's commuting program, and I have these like little metro things all over the city to yeah, that's basically it. That's how I try to make the most efficient city possible. And if everyone's worried, my other map I had like 90% happiness, but because I have all this different tourism stuff, I have really low rating on job because there's a bunch of unemployed people. I'll make a new tourism section for the next episode. But a really good way to hire is just I only have 2 TV stations right there, and that's enough to give 94 liberty. So that's enough to like average out all like the 48, the 61, and all those different things. So yeah, if y'all have any questions, I mean, I know this game's a little bit old, but it's definitely a lot of fun still. So this is probably the best way to keep your economy, and it's super OP, honestly. Like, there's no point to build like 6 tobacco and then 6 cigar factories and 6 rum things. You want to keep the chain that makes these types of buildings. So that includes chocolate factories, vehicles, basically any luxury good. So like rum, you can't go to the next thing. It's just sugar and straight that. But if you have different things such as electronic, you have to get, oh, never mind, I'm an idiot. Nope. Alright, I guess it's just vehicles and fashion companies. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys, yeah.